Hi all, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to upload the most important and commonly asked Java interview questions, which is very specific to Java based questions itself. So in the technical interviews, right? So we may face like many coding interviews and also low level designing and high level designing for experienced persons. But people generally ignore like a Java interview, Java based. Like if you are like from Java background, right? There is high chances of asking at least couple of questions on Java. In the in January, February, right? I was giving interviews to a lot of companies. There I have faced very different and tricky questions of Java related concepts. Not just Java related concepts like Java on based on like pure Java related concepts. And second thing is like design patterns, different kind of design patterns, and also applying some tricky constraints on design patterns, and some threading and also concurrency questions also. So I want to make a videos on those three different topics in a three different videos. In this video, I'm going to cover the most important and commonly asked Java interview questions, where basically which I like asked in like Goldman Sachs, Arcesium, Upstox, all these companies, and also different startups also. Um, so I have curated all those list, and also I want to share with you. If you are new to this channel is all about related to interviews and also system designing and high level designing and machine coding around questions. So from past couple of months onwards, I'm consistently uploading the real interviews, which I was interviewed with a different interviewer, which is like my real interviews itself. I was recorded to look back myself. I just shared all those interviews so that people who are quite new to this interview space, right, they might know how the interviews will ask and how we should respond in a in very like so how you will manage your stress, everything, right? So because of that reason only I was uploaded all the live interviews. And the second thing is here I was uploading the low level designing videos also, parking lot, like some other questions which ask in Flipkart also. I will uploaded all those things. So you can check out to my channel, and you can subscribe to my channel. Here are the two most important playlists. So one is like SDE interview series, the second thing is like low level designing. So this video is all about related to SDE interview series. So previously I have shared the DB questions, most important and commonly asked DB questions, and then also most important commonly asked like a cache eviction policy called LRU. So these two I have uploaded, and now I'm going to share the new video called most important and commonly asked Java interview questions. So this is my repository of interview series. So here already has a code of LRU. Now I uploaded. Now I'm updated the codes, all the code snippets which I was sharing now on Java things which I updated here. I will share this in description. You can watch those things. Yeah. So without any delay, let's start. So first question is how to make a class as immutable. You all know, right? The string in the Java is immutable, right? Which immutable is nothing but once you define a particular variable, you cannot modify. What cause you cannot modify, like modification in the sense I cannot access, right? I cannot access and simply declare these things, right? So this is making a string as immutable. So now interviews asked me to make a class as immutable. So this question asked me in Arcesium, Goldman Sachs, and also some of the some two startups also. So yeah, so let's see how I designed this one. So for timing, just forgot about like immutability and mutability. Just think about how you define a class. So here I'm defining a class called mutable class, and I declare two variables called a name and also integer list. Integer list is like a Java list collection, and the name is like a string variable. And also for a typical POSO, right? For a typical class, we have like constructors, setters, getters, and fields, right? So same thing I have declared, we have fields, we have constructor, we have setters and getters. So this is the task which we should make the mutable class to the immutable class. So so how you're saying this is the mutable class, because see, here if you see, right, I had declared the mutable class with a even with has two parameters, right, string and also integer list. One is like even, and also a list is like 246. So when I'm printing here get name, right, it will basically get the name called even. So after this one, I shouldn't modify. Think about immutable means once after declare, right, I shouldn't modify these values. So because of setters which is presented inside the class, I'm able to modify like these things. I'm able to modify and able to I'm able to create also, like, so I'm able to modify, right. So here a new name is there, even got changed to new name, and also 246 got changed to 2468. Now if you run, right, you will get basically from even to even new name, and also 2468 instead of 246 and even. So this is the what mutability means. Now we want to make it as like immutability. If you see, right, so how you make immutability, by seeing here, one common thing you got to know is like removing the setters. And second thing is like fields are not private and final, right. Final is nothing but it cannot be changed further, right. So even though we remove, let us assume we remove setters, so because we cannot access those field names, but thing is like we can access through directly by declaring here, like, so if you see, right, it is not giving any error. Likewise, you can access the integer list itself also, it's not giving any error, right. So this is not mutable, this is not immutable, right. So that's why we need to make it as like we need to make those as like private comma final, and also we need to make this as a private comma final. So which means that you cannot access name or integer list outside of this particular class, right. And also even though you can access, you cannot modify all once you cannot access with the help of private, and you cannot modify with the help of final. So I'm removing this one. So now this is this one you can say it is immutable. Observe clearly, still wrong. There is one error in here. Even though we have removed setters, even though we removed make it as private final, but still it is not immutable class, because the so name is like basically passed by value, but the integer, but the collections is not passed by value in the Java. So if you see, right, so let's say, so now if I want to print here, it will print basically yeah, even two times and also 246. So even two times and 246. So now I'm making now I want to act, so mutable class dot get integer list. Here when I click on get integer list, right, I'll get the reference of integer list itself. In the reference I can modify the values, right. So if I want to add, let's say I'm adding 8 value, so if I run the program, right, so our assumption is like it should get only 246, but because of reference, we can able to access the reference of the integer list, right. It can able to add easily, we are getting 2468. This should not be the case, right. So what you should do, so while returning, right, you should return as like you should return as like in a new initialization format, like this. So you need to return as a new array list. So which means that every time you are using getter, you are basically getting a different memory allocation integer instead of getting same reference, you are getting different reference. So now if I run the same program, right, so instead of getting 2468, our expectation should be our actual answer should get 246 only, not 8. If you see, right, I'm getting 246. So by this clearly says, right, this class this mutable class slowly becomes immutable. There is a one final check you need to make it as like because here you have class is called second, and you can able to extend the mutable class, right? For immutability class, this shouldn't be any class. This shouldn't be any for immutability class, this shouldn't be any issue. But for immutability case, this should be the issue. Like immutable class shouldn't be an extend, right? For that, what you need to make, just make it as final. Then even though if we declare class second extends mutable, basically it is not allowing. Okay, basically it is not allowing like a mutable class, make it as non-final to extend, because of making as final, right? It cannot be it cannot be extends. That's why it's making as mutable. So slowly this mutable class is converts as like immutable. This is the clean code. Final is the most important. It shouldn't extend to anywhere. And second thing is like make inside as private final. And when you have references instead of like primitives, right? Instead of returning the reference list, just return the newly created memory location of the particular reference, so that your class is completely immutable. So this is the question asked, like almost 5 to 6 interviews. This question has asked, like for example, Azio, Goldman Sachs, Arcesium, and also Farai, and also some other questions, eStep, some other companies also. So this is the one important interview question which I was encountered. And second thing is like related to Java streams. These Java streams, if your background is on Java 8, right, then asking Java streams is like by default, it's common. Like at least one question they will ask on Java streams. I think people might ever, right, when you are working on Java 8, you know Java streams, right? There's some concepts which are added from Java 7 to Java 8, like functional interface, Java streams, and also datetime APIs, and also optionals, that runtime engine. All these things are added in the Java 8, right? So let us assume like I got three questions from three different companies. So one company which called one company is called PaySafe. They basically asked me like I have given a list. Just make it as like map. So the assumption is like here 2 3 4 is there, right? So they want to make it as like 2 colon square of the 2 4 3 colon 9 4 colon 16. That is their expectations. So now if you are familiar with Java streams, right, there are two things, there are three things are there. One is like stream, and second thing is like basically chain, and third thing is like terminator. So terminator is to stream is like basically you should have list or collection to stream. You should have some data. And Chinese too, you want to add the behavior, like you want to filter some values from the stream, or you want to modify, you want to check some conditions from the incoming data. And then once your everything was done, you need to collect the data, right? That is like and termination operations. This is like linkage operations. This is like termination operations. There you need to collect the data, or you need to get the max value, or find the first value, or get the count of total values after filtering from the stream, after filtering some some things with the help of chains in the stream. So these are the three most important things. Now in this use case, you just have a stream, and you convert into the you just have a list, you convert into the map. So we have an array list called 2 3 4. In this one, right here, you clearly observe the state is common, which means that you don't require any chain, right? Because the state is common. Just in the termination itself, instead of removing it, instead of returning as a list, you need to return as a map. So here is the concept. I'm streaming numbers dot stream dot. This collect is basically so some things are there. For termination, we have called collect, or reduce, or count, or max, or find first. Like different functions are there for different method use cases. For this use case, collect is perfectly fine. So I'm collecting. so I'm collecting two map instead of two list, right? I was using two map. So basically two map expects two arguments. One is like key, second thing is value, right? So key is I'm just passing integer itself, and value is like I'm passing the integer star integer. I'm multiplying the integer. So these I was assigning back, and also I was printing that collect. So it will print 2 is to 3, 2 colon 4, 3 colon 9, and 4 colon 16. This is the way you can convert one collection to another collection by the help of termination operation. You can do whatever you want. Um, so this is the one question which I encountered, and second thing is like this question I asked in. Say basically this question they asked me in two ways. One with the help of SQL query, and second thing is like through streams. So both ways I have represented, but streams I'm unable to represent as I don't know the grouping concept in streams. I was quite new. So yeah, how what is the problem statement is like count occurrences using stream. This is asking me in Goldman Sachs. Like arrays dot as list, you have apples oranges, right? You just need to find the count of apples, and you need to return the map itself, key comma, what is the total count. So how you will do in the normal SQL, right? You need to apply like select star from like fruits, where group by fruit name, uh, no, select fruit comma count of fruit, right? Count of star as total number, where um, group by basically group by fruit name, right? So that is the concept which you're using in the traditional SQL. So here you need to apply the same concept but with the help of streams. So here list dot stream is there. Similar thing. You're not modifying this behavior. You want to convert one stream to another stream without any filtration or without any linkage operations. That's why there is no linkage over here. Directly a stream, and also you're collecting. While collecting, you need to make it as like hash map, right? You need to make it as map, right? So which means like same. First, I'll write this one. We'll get some clarity. Like select. Let's say fruit name, comma. Total fruits from fruit table, group by fruit name. So this is the traditional SQL query, right? Same thing. You are selecting, which is like from selecting a fruits, you are selecting two things: fruit name comma count, and this is your key and this is your value, and these two things are performing on group by, and which means that in a stream, right, in a collector, like what we have using collectors or two map, right? You have something called collectors.group by. In collectors.group by, you have given identity is nothing but it will take that value, like that stream value, and also it will count like how many times this particular occurrence has happened. So and against collectors dot we have counting is there. So by this way you can find like see, fruit name is basically identity, right? And instead of count star you have given count. You have function called counting in the Java. So streaming and collecting and also grouping the grouping what you're grouping, and identity value, and also count of identity value. So by this way you can print you can perform the operation. It will print apple colon 3 and orange colon 2, and this is like one way. And second thing is like this is like not thread safety, right? You want like concurrent, you know about concurrent hash map, right? So which will provide thread safety while writes when simultaneous reads, right? Modifications. So we have one more concept called grouping by concurrent. Instead of grouping by, we have grouping by concurrent. That is some variation which, see, no one asked these things. I only got this question only, like, yeah. And the third question which I got in like two different startups. one thing is like how you have like list of lists are there. You need to basically convert into a list, single list, and you need to sort that list. So this is the concept. This is the problem statement I got. So let us assume we have prime numbers in one list, odd numbers and even numbers. We have list of lists are there, and prime numbers, odd numbers, and even numbers. So it will print like two-dimensional list, right? So you can access like the help of get of 0, you can access this one, get of 1 and get of 2. So now you need to apply like you need to apply. So here we are modifying the existing basically existing, whatever existing is different whatever output, right? That's why we require the linkage operation called chains. So chains has basically has flat map. We are streaming and we are using flat map. Inside flat map, it basically takes the first value and again we're converting into the stream. So by this point, it will basically take all these list and appending like this list. It is reading that list and converting it to stream, and again it is reading this list and appending to the existing stream. Again reading and appending to the existing stream. And finally, once we are doing this flat map, right, we are sorting all the values inside that single list. Once you're sorted, we are collecting to two list and we are printing. So I'm executing now. So if you see 2, 4, 3, 9, 4, 16, apple 3, orange 2, apple 3, orange 2, and this is like before one and after one it got sorted. So that is the use of flat map. So basically they asked me the intention of the interview is used to flat map. See all these things whatever I mentioned, right? This we can do with the traditional for loop itself. But the intention of using solving these things with the help of streams, that is the that is the main point. Like if you are familiar with Java 8, right? Definitely these concepts you should be familiar. Like, and these are the three different interview questions which I encountered, and I got some other questions like filtering like even numbers and filtering and also checking checking while filtering itself, checking this list is presented only, then only retrieve those values. These questions are common, right? Quite trivial. We can answer like we have many linkages are there. We have filters are there, and we have like flat maps, we have maps, and yeah, lot more things are there like in the linkage process. So you can go through the glimpse of Java streams, how it is working, and you can get lot of questions on that. Like, yeah, this is the second one, and finally this is some interesting one. um yeah, basically we all know, right, how we create an object in Java, like with the help of new object, right? So this is the one way of creating object. So basically this question I got like so interviewer asked me like create a singleton design pattern. So I have created, then where we basically, when we're using double locking condition, if object is equals to null, we will create equals to new instance, right? So in that he asked me, okay, I don't want to use new instance, I want to create an object without using the new instance. Which generally most people not aware like how to create an object without using new instance. So if you are familiar with like if you are already as the application backend application developer, right, in Java basically, you might work on Spring Boot, right? You know, right, Spring is handling the dependency injection, it creating a beans and storing all those things, storing all those things in a pool, and wherever we want those objects to use, and we can inject all those dependencies, right? So how Spring is doing without creating an object itself, equals to new object, equals to new class itself. So while discussing that one with interviewer, this question came into the picture. um, is asking, first I have given this one, then he has said, okay, without using a new operator, just create a string, just create an object for the class. So there are other two methods. One is the intention of him is like using the Java reflections, and second method is like using accessing directly the class name and dot new instance. It will create like it will create whatever this new first class is there, right? Whatever functionality, whatever output will come with here, it same output will get over here itself. So object created through class instance. And third thing, this is the one interviewed actually looked actually. So if you know, right, like basically in the Spring Boot, right, Java Spring Boot, basically whenever we run the program, Spring Boot dynamically at the runtime, it will read all the classes, right? It will suppose, let's say, you are imported some outer package into your inside package. Spring is not smart enough to read those packages also. Then you are accidentally mentioning, okay, whatever base path I'm mentioning, just read all those classes also, which means that whatever classes we are declaring in the Spring, right, it is but in the background, it is actually doing like this one, class dot for name, and giving that package, giving that bean name, and creating the instance. And whenever we want the dependency rate, we are successfully able to injecting over there, like. So without using new method, this is the one way of creating class dot for name. We need to give the complete package name, complete class name, with including the package, and we create an instance. So it is the object, right? We can check if object is instance of first class. We can make it as like we can use typecasting and make it as first class, and we can access all those methods inside the first class object. This is the one way. And another way is like using the constructor method itself. So first, instead of getting new instance, we can get the declared constructor, nothing but default constructor. We have a constructor. So if you know, right, we have a in the Java reflection itself, we have something called constructors. So all know that Java by default has the default constructor is there. If you don't specify anything, we have default constructor is there. So with the help of the constructor, with the get declared constructor also, we can get the new instance, and we can access all those functions. So this is the one, and this question asked me in like two different interviews. One interview is called reputation, I think company name, and second one is called some startup. So one is like without using Java, create without using new operator, how you will create a object for the class, and also how Spring Boot handling the dependency injection without create how Spring Boot creating the objects and giving whenever you want. So I think you got the question, you got the answers right. So yeah, basically Java reflection basically used in like many use cases, like in JUnits, Java in Spring, and also in Tomcat. Also, it is creating the pool of pool of threads, right? So those everywhere the Java reflections itself is using backend, but this everything happens to dynamically, right? So that's why whenever you can do with new, don't use these all those things, but wherever necessary it is required, then only you need to use, because it is somewhat slow and also less performant than declaring with a new instance, with a new class name. And yeah, these are the three important these are the most important and commonly asked questions, because in the coding interviews, right, most of your time spent on problems like lead code questions itself, or else and system design and low level design itself. But maybe you won't get much chance of preparing all these things. But having a good, if you're a Java background, having knowing all these things will also help to crack interviews, like most of the interviews. It Yeah. So yeah, I have uploaded all the code snippets in my repository. I'll put this link in description, you can get those things. And in the future videos, right, I want to say I want to upload videos like what is the commonly asked design patterns in my interviews, like mostly asked like builder, singleton, and adapter, and some other tricky, and adding there is some complexity involved over there. I will explain. And also related threading, right? So I have applied most of things to SD interviews only. So I got like more threading related questions, like simulating deadlock, a producer consumer problem, and also how fork pool, how a fork joint pool will work inside Java. So all these questions I got. So I will upload those two like design patterns and also threading and concurrency in a separate two videos. Yeah, till then, if you want if you like, please subscribe and thumbs up. Don't forget that one. And I will consistently upload all the low level designing and system designing and also interview related content in this channel. Like, yeah, that's it for today's tutorial. I will soon meet you in the next video. Thank you.